So the Cleveland Cavaliers decided to part ways with Darius Garland, and they traded him in a second-round draft pick for James Harden. So you're trading a 26-year-old guard for a 36-year-old guard. And the argument is, why did the Cavaliers give up on Darius Garland? Why are you bringing on James Harden when he's an older player? So let's get right into this. First off, when it comes to Darius Garland, unfortunately, he's had his struggles in the playoffs. He's also had some injuries. And the Cavs are looking at from the perspective of, well, Garland can't stay healthy. And if he's not reliable as Donovan Mitchell's second option, we need to make a change here. Over the last few seasons for the Cavs in the playoffs, they either had injuries or bad playoff performances. For me personally, if you are trying to go after a championship and you are trying to win as soon as possible to maximize the window with Donovan Mitchell, then you make a move like this. James Harden probably has 2 more good seasons left. Donovan Mitchell's got 2 more years left of his contract before he can become a free agent in 2029. So at this point, if you're Cleveland, you're trying to go all in with a move here. Now, they also brought in Keon Ellis, which I do like as a pickup because he's a really good point of attack defender. I love that move for the Cavs. They also acquired Dennis Schroeder, and they have a logjam of guards. So I do believe the Cavs are going to make other moves. As reported here from Jake Fisher, the Cavs aren't done either. Cleveland is very much still working towards finding a trade partner to assume Lonzo Ball's $10 million salary per source. I wonder if they can move off Lonzo Ball because of his injury history. But that might be a trade where you're just trying to shed off salary because the Cavaliers are in that second apron. So they want to get out of that situation. So we'll see in the coming days what Cleveland does, or in the offseason, what they decide to do next. There's another move that I talked about yesterday that Cleveland might want to consider. Going after Giannis. Now, the trade would package around Evan Mobley, and I'm assuming they're going to need a third team for draft picks and to match salaries. But a move for Giannis to Cleveland would signal we are going all in. Yes, that does shorten your championship window, but at this rate, you want to go out and get a ring. And you pair Giannis with Donovan Mitchell, and you pair him with James Harden. You have 2 to 3 seasons to get a championship. And if you still have Keon Ellis on the roster, you can keep Jared Allen. That's a really good team. In my eyes, they are the instant favorites in the Eastern Conference. There's just no doubt about it. And then you still have your guys like Max Strus, assuming he doesn't get traded, but Jalen Tyson, he's been really good as a forward for them. So they're going to have to give up some guys, but if they can keep Keon Ellis on the roster, if you can obtain Jalen Tyson, Cleveland's going to be very dangerous. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. I know Minnesota is a favorite right now to land Giannis, but let's just say Giannis stays in Milwaukee. That could definitely happen here. And you get to the offseason, and Cleveland has a disappointing playoffs, and they don't make the Eastern Conference Finals. Well, it makes sense in their situation to make an all-in move. If you're going after Giannis, you are saying to your fans, we are going after a championship now. We don't care about sustainability. We want to go get a ring. And it makes sense in Cleveland's situation, in my personal opinion, because they've had playoff disappointments and they've had injuries as well. So you factor those two things together, and that's why they traded Darius Garland for James Harden. Sure, Garland was a nice point guard, but he had injuries. He wasn't shooting well from the field this year. And in the playoffs, he hasn't been good for them, unfortunately. So Cleveland's looking at as, okay, we're going to bring in James Harden. He's a great facilitator. We know about his playoff struggles, but if he can be that third option on a championship team, that would work out better for him because you're not putting all the pressure on Harden to go out and create shots and, be that second option for Cleveland. And we know Dom would be the number one. So for the Cavs, if they stand pat and you have Mobley, you got Allen, you've got Keon Ellis, this is a team that could make the NBA Finals now. I do believe that. They've won 8 of their last 10 games. So overall, I do like the acquisition from the perspective of we are going after a championship and we're moving past this idea of sustainability because at this stage of Donovan Mitchell's career and where the roster is, we need to make an all-in move. So I do think other moves are coming. We'll see what happens, but I do like the acquisition of Harden and Keon Ellis because you have your point of attack defender. James Harden can be your facilitator, and we'll see what happens next. It's going to be very interesting. If they get a 3-and-D wing, I thought about this morning a guy like Jonathan Isaac. Now, I don't know the contracts, but someone like that who can come in for about 10 to 15 minutes and just be a 37% shooter from three and play great defense at the wing position. That's something Cleveland might consider, and I think they should if they can't go out and get Giannis. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. I want to hear your thoughts about the acquisition of James Harden. Do you like the move or do you not like the move for the Cavs? Also, for Clippers fans, do you like the acquisition of Darius Garland? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one.